Hey guys, it's Sarah, and today I'm going to be making a video about my personal ET contact. So, just a little background. Back in November, I started to wake up and I had my starseed awakening, in which I realized that I have galactic origins. I'm not just from Earth, I'm from the stars. I was seeded on the planet to live out many different missions, including helping awaken humanity up to their true galactic origins, as well as help bridge the gap between us and them, essentially us and other ET races. Bridge that gap, because right now humanity is so programmed to still be afraid of them. We haven't reached that critical mass where it's safe for them to have complete physical contact, in terms of everybody knows that they exist. We can have physical contact now if you're aware and open enough to that degree, but not for everybody yet, because of the collective fear that's been pushed through media and such. Anyways, so when you kind of first have this starseed awakening, you want to know what planet you're from. You want to know what planet you had other lives on, or have other lives on at this current time, because remember, everything exists now. So, and it's been proven that we can exist in parallel realities simultaneously. So I found that I very much so resonated with the Arcturians. Was kind of my first starseed origin that I realized, and then I realized Pleiadians later on, and then the Syrians later on after that. So that's been the main theme for me so far in my spiritual awakening, was actually the extraterrestrial galactic origins, because I'm so interested in that, and I always kind of have been, but I did not necessarily realize that it was real until this awakening that I had. So it went from just doing research about these topics, watching videos, reading articles, and just talking about it to, well, some close friends that believed that. And it went from that until about last July, start of August, where my boyfriend and I were just outside on the deck in my house when I just moved to Toronto, and I didn't really think that it was a possibility to see it in Toronto, just because it's so busy, but nobody's really looking up anyway. But what we saw was just begin, you know when something's a plane and you know when something's not a plane. It's really obvious in terms of shape and the pattern and the colors of the blinking things. You can physically and distinctively tell between UFO and airplane. So what we saw was a circular shape, and it was kind of all of these purple lights coming up, and then they switched to red, or it would be purple and red, and then white sometimes. So we kind of just knew this is a UFO. And then the day after, I saw the exact same thing with my friend. The day after, my friend saw it on her own. The day after, my boyfriend saw it on his own. Ever since then, it was pretty much a weekly thing that we would see. We'd see this starship. Sometimes it would blink different colors, sometimes it was in different shapes, but we were 100% certain that it was not an airplane. We even had one friend just being no, it's an airplane, and we're just sitting here it's not an airplane. You just know, right? Especially when you have these parallel lives on the planet, these are your friends, you know these people, you just instinctively you're tuned into the ship, and it's showing itself to you for a purpose, right? Anyways, going beyond that, in August I read this book called Atlantis Rising by Patricia Corey, and it was channeled from the Syrian High Council. So after reading this book, I was then even more attuned to that of the Syrian vibration and frequency, and then woke up the next morning with them channeling a message through me. They woke me up, they said, "We are the Syrian High Council, we have a message for you, do you accept this message?" I said yes. I took a pen and paper, as I was guided to, and I wrote. I'm not consciously writing this, I'm physically using my hand to write this, but I'm not the person that's coming up with the information. It's just coming to me. I can kind of hear it in my head, or it's just writing it. I have no conscious recollection of me actually knowing what is being said or transmitted through me. It's just writing, and I don't really pay attention to even what it's saying at the time. I just kind of focus on making sure my hand can write for whatever they're saying. So these messages typically have to do with fate, destiny, ascension process, love, different help kind of. Like, everything that they'll typically say will have to do with the situation that I'm currently experiencing, but I also would be under the awareness that it's not a message just for me. I'm often guided to share these sometimes. I can identify when it's a message that's specifically for me in the moment, or if it's for me in the moment, but it's also like other people will relate to this right now and it's meant to be shared on more of a mass level. So then I'll post these. So at the start, it was really just like the Syrians who were giving me these transmissions, and then it further moved on to the Arcturians, further moved on to the Pleiadians, and then I never got a singular transmission from the Lyrians, but the Lyrians have been present within a collective transmission that I got for 1111 from the Pleiadian, Arcturian, Syrian, and Lyrian like collective high council, because they also have like different beings from the different planets on these different like councils, and like through like the Galactic Federation and such, that they're giving this information and transmitting through people who are open and willing and want to share and are not afraid to share this information. So I've been getting these transmissions for a few months now. I post them most of the time when I know that I am supposed to post them, or when I am guided to post them. I also can get transmissions from other consciousnesses, but for the sake of this video, I'm focusing more on this ET contact. So this is my personal experience in receiving messages from them, in terms of them introducing themselves and giving me these messages, and they're very each message you can tell that it's not coming from a third dimensional perspective. Like, I know that the ETs are from a higher dimension, but the way that they speak and the words that they say, you just know that it wouldn't be able to come from a mindset of the third dimension. You know that it's fifth dimensional and above, which is what all these star races are currently in. I'll do another video specifically about like each star race and what they do, but just like the Arcturians are very guided towards like medical healing. Like, I've been on Starship Athena multiple times for different like healing sessions, which they're very, very good at, because they're very, very good at mixing spirituality, science, and technology. They like work with the nervous system to fix the electrical issues within our etheric body. So you can always call upon the Arcturian High Council to bring you to Athena, or they can actually do the work on you from your house, and like they will come in, but not physically, but in their higher dimensional versions of themselves. We just can't see them with our perception because we're still living in third, fourth density. The Pleiadians are really, they just like, their mission is like solely to just like help the people on Earth, bring healing, bring love. And the Syrians, I haven't discovered yet exactly like their main focus, but what I've come across a lot with the Syrians is that they have a lot of water energy. Like, when I think of Sirius, like, I literally just think of like water. And I know like I've made a video before about the great dolphins and great whales. The great dolphins and great whales are part of the Syrian High Council. That's how they transmit. So these are not necessarily like humanoid type of ETs. They can also be like dolphin and whale beings when they're not in their physical bodies as dolphins and whales. So that's my personal ET contact in terms of seeing UFOs pretty much all the time now, going up to Starship Athena multiple times for healing sessions, which completely do work, and getting all these transmissions all the time essentially from them. And I think it's really important that if you do have any type of ET contact, whether it be physical or not, I think it's really crucial that we share these, because the more that we're able to share these and gain awareness and open people's minds to this idea being true, and that they're not scary or something, and that they're our friends because they just want to help. That's literally their main like purpose, is they want to help us because they've gone through this shift before and they know what to do. So I hope you learned something from this video. I hope this expanded your awareness in terms of ETs, and if you're ever looking for like what type of starseed you are, like, you can just look it up. Just don't get lost in like the labels and stuff, because labels and stuff is separation. It all is one, like everything is just one essentially. But for the beginning and to bridge more contact, I do think there is validity in finding out like the different star seed race that you may be or have had other lives on. Technically we've had lives on everyone, but you might have a stronger contact and pull to 1 or 2 or 3 specific planets. So I really hope you learned something from this video, and peace.